In today's video, there we go, that's the screen I want. We're going to check out a new extension from Christopher Mavros. He's here with us, and we will see how we can use developing a chat assistant using ChatGPT for our sites. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 302 here on the Basic Joomla channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. Also work on Joomla sites. If you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or just to get you out of a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, mysites.guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Head on over to mysites.guru and get a free site audit for it. And while you are there, check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. All right, without further ado, let's switch back to, oh, there he is in the little screen up there. It's always a little bit tricky for me to, there we go. A little tricky for me when I'm streaming via Zoom. Hello, Christopher.
Hello, Tim.
Thanks for coming on today. In chat, we've got Bjorn, Ivor. Is that pronounced Duchess Metric? Sorry if I mispronounced that. Taylor, Ephraim, and yeah, there's Christopher in there as well. Wow, in two places. So welcome. If you'd like to give the video a like right now, that would be great. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. Some first-time people here on the channel, so that is super. Is there an echo? Oh, it's fine there. Okay, Ivor says it's fine. Just everybody just tell me if they're getting an echo. Is it just me, or when Christopher talks, is there an echo? Say something, Christopher. Say hello to everyone, and then we'll see.
Hello, everyone. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm very excited to present ChatGPT Assistant Pro for you.
Okay, let us know in chat if Christopher echoed, and we will see. I'm just watching chat before we go ahead here in case there's something I need to fix. I don't see anything in my settings that would be doing that. Ivor says it's fine there. Yeah, Ivor says it sounds good there. Okay, well, I'll watch the chat and we'll see if we need to pause. Yeah, so there's no echo there. Ephraim says that. Okay, and Taylor. Okay, so something is up for you there, Bjorn. We'll figure it out. All right, well, Christopher, we've talked just a little bit. You know, we tried to have him, it was over a year ago, and you were all lined up to come on and show something. I think you're going to show your newsletter extension, and then you broke your ankle.
Yeah.
And you had so many stitches. You were telling me that when the guy that went to remove them, he needed a rest.
Yeah, I think a couple of times.
Oh boy,
45 stitches.
45 stitches. That's crazy. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, and as much personal information as you're comfortable sharing, of course. So.
Okay, of course. I live in Athens, in Greece. It's very hot today. It's 36 degrees Celsius. That's 97 Fahrenheit. I checked before because I don't know how to
well, we're
switch
Celsius
from
here.
one to
We're
another.
Celsius here in Canada, so I'm all
Really?
good with that. Yes.
Okay. 36 Celsius then. It was a hot day, and I'm married. I have a little child, and I've been working for Joomla. I've been creating extensions since 2008, so that's 17 years now. Doing that, only that, as my main work. I've created over 60 or more extensions. Some of those have even 10,000 lines of code, and most of that is written by hand. I'm a perfectionist. I tend to focus on details, try to prevent things from happening foresee what users may need, and you will always see that on my extensions. I'm good at foreseeing things and preparing things, not so good at documenting them. It's all there. It is, but you just don't know it. So those are my strong points, my weak points. And
Good.
today I would like to present ChatGPT Assistant Pro because that's taking over everything. AI is taking over everything, and it's good to know what we have and what we can build with it, because it's a tool, a new tool, and it's like when the internet came out, those that didn't have it had to catch up, and some people still struggle with it nowadays. And you know how it is.
Hmm.
If someone drives with a car and the other one goes by foot, of course the one using the car is going faster. So
Yeah.
everyone's going faster now, and we need to catch up and understand this new technology and how we can use it on Joomla. So
Good.
that's why I'm here today.
Excellent. Now, before we get to that, how tell us about your Joomla story. Have you always been a coder? Did you did you just switch to your own business, or how did you end up doing so much stuff in Joomla?
Yeah. Well, and when I did school, when I finished school, I started coding in Java. I always liked coding, as a kid. But then I was introduced into Java, and then started working on a company using Delphi Pascal, an old language, but
Hmm.
a very efficient one with rapid application development environments. And well, we were building CRMs and ERPs for customers, etc., etc. Mostly database manipulation and common stuff. So we needed to create a website. We were exploring possible CMSs, and Joomla stood out because it was a nice CMS. Imagine it was in version 1.5,
Hmm.
and it was very flexible, ready for translation even before the core Joomla had the translation fully built in. The existing extensions uh, went, did pretty well at that task. So, well, we were looking for a newsletter subscriber form, a simple form. We wanted a form to send an email, and that simple application did not exist. So I was assigned the task to create that. And that brought me into the world of Joomla. I published newsletter subscriber on the Joomla extension directory, and then it had like 500 downloads per day. So, wow, that was a
Ah,
work yeah, an open way for us. So I turned to that. I created Newsletter Subscriber Pro, NS Pro, for by the customer requests, always building on customer requests. And that's how it still goes. I base my extensions on what my customers want and what they need. So that's always driven by need. And of course, I then created Rapid Contact X, which is a professional contact form creator, and then Simple Quiz, and so on and so forth. That brings us to today, where I have many extensions on my website and many others built for specific companies.
now did you quit your job as a programmer and then just start your own company, or was there sort of an overlap?
Well, there was an overlap for about a year, I guess.
Okay.
But then I focused on working on my own because, um, well, there's a lot of work in Joomla, and a lot of people, very nice people, which are always polite. And I've seen a great working environment around Joomla. It's not as competitive, as money driven as other CMSs. Not gonna name one. So I like the environment. I like the way they work, and I like what Joomla does. There's a lot of volunteering work around, and it's always good to praise that.
Yeah, good. Now, do you have a team? Do you have anyone that helps you, or are you a one-man show?
Well, sometimes I get some help, but most of the time, as I said, I'm a perfectionist, and I haven't found the one yet. We would make more things if I had some help. So
Okay.
anyone interested, I'm here.
Who's a perfectionist?
Yeah, I guess so.
Good. Well, go ahead, share your screen, and let's see this new extension of yours. I'm super excited. Um,
Okay, yeah, of course. Before I do that, um, before I get into how this extension works, I would like just to say a couple of words about ChatGPT itself,
yes.
if I may.
Yeah.
Okay, so ChatGPT in its core is a large language model. What it does is it has some crazy mathematical way of turning language, input language, to output language that makes sense. And that's a very interesting development of AI. But as a model, it has pros and cons, and OpenAI allows us to use some of those models using the API. For example, the completions API, the chat completions API, and the assistance API, as well as the responses API, which is newer. So the Assistance API, which we chose to use for the ChatGPT Assistant Pro, allows us to use some models. Of course, it's one with its pros and cons, and we've seen that some of those models, for example, let me show you. Some of those models are the GPT 4.1 and the GPT-4o, which are both very good models. If you choose, for example, GPT-4o, you always get very nice format and thorough explanations. But what I want to pass through this video is that the large language models are like toddlers. If you have a toddler, you understand the need of explaining things in a simple way, structured way, and that's how you need to set up your assistants. You need to explain what you want exactly, and not imagine that it will do different things from the ones you ask it. So both the ChatGPT Assistant extension, the free one that I offer on my website, and the Pro version that we have here, they both rely on the system instructions they receive. You need to pass simple words and focus on the verbs when you explain what you need. Um, I will explore the tools available for the API, the Assistance API, gradually explore them. For example, I will explore the file search tool and then show what we have built specifically for Joomla. Before we get on that, I would like to say a couple of words about prompt engineering. I know that it's discussed a lot nowadays. It's basically, as I say, I wrote to you on my email. It's how the linguistics majors turned the tables, because all of a sudden we were forgetting about philologists and linguistics and all of that. And now they use the machines, the most advanced machines, using language. And now you have to write good English. And that's actually very interesting. That's how they turned the tables. And it's a reality of our days. So imagine you're trying to control the machine using language. You have to provide some context. What is your website about? What are your main goals? Would you like every visitor to see before they leave? You can pass those to the context of the assistant. You can pass a task. It's very important to pass a task. If you had an employee that works on your website, which tasks, which roles would you want him to have? If he had access to all of your website, that's what you're going to tell your assistant to do. Uh, there's also a format. Do you want the assistant to be creative? For example, a website about tourism on Vancouver Island. You may want it to be creative because it needs to create itineraries, it needs to imagine and focus on uh, putting it all together. It needs some creativity. But if you have a technical website and you need a specific, very targeted assistant, then you can lower its temperature. You would want someone that sticks on facts. So there's a lot of things to discuss here. I'm just going to say about also about constraints. It's very important to explain to the LLM, the model, explain its constraints and what to do when it hits one of those boundaries. For example, what does it do when it doesn't know? It's like us. It wants to show that it knows. So if it doesn't know a question, it will start making things up. We don't want that. We can simply say that. If someone asks, don't speculate. An employee would do the same thing if you think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's
Hopefully
important.
not, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a reality of things. You want it to know what it doesn't know and what to do when something comes up that it doesn't know. And what do you want it to do when it's uncertain about something? So, if you have any questions
Yeah, if there's
until now,
questions, everybody put them in chat and we will look at them and that.
okay.
Yeah, I think that I appreciate you laying the foundation for that. I had never realized that's a new thought for me that the better you speak the language, the more control you have,
Yeah,
which is
and
maybe why some of the things that because sometimes I get frustrated with the AI because it answers me like really stupid things, but maybe it's just noticing that I'm not that bright in what I'm asking, so I'll just give them this. So I appreciate that.
yeah, and then comes the meta prompting. They say you uh, send your prompt to a first AI to create a prompt to send to a second AI. So that's meta prompting. Yeah,
Oh
it's a thing
wow,
now. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. There's a lot of things here.
No, yeah, yeah, because this we are probably. Would you say we're still in the early adopter stage of AI uh for the general population?
Yeah, I think it's still a toddler. I honestly think about that because it still can't handle very large tasks.
Hmm.
There's a lot of agents that do a lot of things, but those are very heavily coded agents. It's the AI is still very basic, as from my point of view. A couple of years ago, it was just a toy. Now it's getting into business, but we'll see where it goes from here.
Because by early adopters, I meant like the people that are actually using it. I think. Do you think that it's still very underused?
Mm, I would think that, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
especially for middle businesses like around the street. I mean,
Yeah.
not heavily tech savvy people.
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's mostly used by technicians, and well, we'll see how it
Yeah.
turns.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show you what we have here. When you install ChatGPT Assistant Pro, you get to the dashboard. And there's a whole video about how to onboard, follow the onboarding process. And it's on my YouTube channel if anyone wants to see it. How to get your OpenAI credentials and put them in the component options. And then you can prepare your assistants using the toolkit. I'm going to show that later. And your knowledge base and custom tools that you can have for information retrieval and more. We're going to walk through some of those. And of course, you need to assign some tools to your assistants. You get an overview of things here, how the assistants are being used, the tokens that they've spent, and per month also latest threads. So there are some statistics on the dashboard. For anyone that's interested, this is an interactive presentation, so you can go to my website, demo.mavroschristoforos.com/presentation, and you can try what we're doing live with the assistant we'll be working with. Okay.
All right, let me just
So
get that. Let me just grab that link so I can post it in there
yeah,
for.
okay. You want me to
Um,
send it to the chat?
uh, yes, but first of all, I would have to, before you can paste the URL in there, I just have to make you a moderator, which we have not done for a long time. I usually make a silly little song when um, when I make someone a moderator, but I'll spare you. Yeah, go ahead. Now you can post the URL in the chat
Okay.
for that, and it should show up for everybody to follow along. And hello, Julie in chat.
Okay.
Oh, you put that in the Zoom chat. Oh, I
Oh,
got.
which
Yeah,
one
no,
should
no, that's
I?
right. No, that's all right. That works. Copy link. I post that
Yeah,
in
sorry.
the. No, no, that is perfectly fine.
Okay.
And
Better to get everything
yeah, no,
through
that's
you,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I've created an assistant here to demonstrate some of the tools we have. You can also try the existing demo if you want. Go to demo.mavroschristoforos.com, commercial extensions, and ChatGPT Assistant Pro. It's over here. There are some assistants that you can try if you want there, but we will be working with a separate one called Sophia, which is the Greek word for wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is our assistant page. We have the ability to edit an assistant. As obvious, we can have multiple assistants per Joomla website, and we can assign those to a different module, a different menu item. We can have as many as we wish, even only for ourselves, restricted by login, access, and maybe give an assistant more power to do things that we would like to do on our Joomla site. So uh, at this point, Sophia is like ChatGPT, a simple, helpful assistant, a toddler that knows everything. Okay, so if I go ahead and ask a question about one of my extensions, for example, which smart texts can I use in NS Pro confirmation messages? I'm gonna get a generic response, something like what you'd get from ChatGPT. This is incorrect. Okay. Yeah. So, yes, that's what you get. If you don't train, if you don't
Yeah.
input
Okay.
information, you're only going to get wrong results. If your firm is not globally uh, known, if you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying, if
Mm-hmm.
this information is not well documented online beforehand, it's not going to be available to the chat. So it speculates things now. It just wrote some things to show that it knows what we're asking about. This is wrong. So, what can I do to get the assistant to actually respond based on my content? I'm going to show the first and most basic tool that OpenAI has created. This is from OpenAI API. It's the file search tool. So, when you enable the file search, you need to create a vector store. That's just a fancy name for databases that the AI can handle and understand. So I'm going to go ahead and create a vector store. I'm just going to call it a vector store. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to add a file here. Let's see. So it's an old help for PDF, somewhat outdated from my from NS Pro. Okay, it took some time to upload the file. Now the vector store is ready, and we've got the file search ready. Let's see now what the assistant tells us to the same question. Which smart texts can I use in NS Pro confirmation messages?
It's thinking.
So this is an accurate response. It traversed the whole file and was able to respond exactly as it should for NS Pro. Now, that's impressive because if we have a lot of information on files, a lot of firms have a lot of PDFs. We can simply upload those to the AI, as you see, without any further instructions, and then we already get a very nice result. But let's add some constraints here. It's always important to explain things to the assistant, as we said. For example, always consult your resources files, in this case, to provide responses. If something is unclear or unknown, do not speculate. Instead, offer to send the transcript to the team for further assistance. Now, I'm adding a new tool here. In our custom tools, we can add the ability to send the transcript to the team, meaning the administrator. And now the model can respond by suggesting to promote the conversation to a human agent. Let's see what it does with the same question. I'm getting a slow internet here.
Well, it's looking pretty smooth, so.
Okay.
You're also sending out a lot of data.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, but what if I ask, Now, this is a question that's not answered in this file. Let's see what it says. Now, this is speculating. Let's get back here. Now, this is common when you're live streaming something that hasn't happened ever
It's
before.
That's why some people watch my live streams. It's just because
Okay.
they want to see what goes wrong or what I break. So
Yeah, that's just a network error. So as you
maybe.
see,
Yeah.
it just speculated that you should write date, but that information isn't anywhere on that file that I uploaded. So I'm gonna change the temperature now from 1 to 0.4. I'm gonna lower the temperature, meaning that I want it to be less creative and stick more to the facts. Let's see. Hopefully it will save. Sometimes this could, you saw that it saved very fast now.
Yeah.
Sometimes this could fail due to OpenAI because it's directly working with the server,
Yeah.
the API server. So let's try the same conversation again and see what we get. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is. I'll just ask you a question that came to mind while it's thinking there. You uploaded a file creating a vector. Is there a way to use? So if you edited that file, you'd have to upload it again, right?
Yeah,
Is there a way to link the vector to an existing file that maybe other people might be updating and you don't have to do that, like a Google Doc or something?
that's an excellent question. It's in our future roadmap to
Okay.
create a plugin that automatically scans directories for changes on files and uploads them to the API, so that users or moderators can upload their own files, and the AI will know. What about smart texts for the current date? Let's see if it speculates now. So I've lowered the temperature. I've only uploaded a file to the AI. It's still speculating. Let's see. This is incorrect. Let's see how it responds now, because I wanted to show that if let's see. Let's lower this.
So yeah, the other thing too that I thought of just while you're running that test again is that if you have staff training material and
Mm-hmm.
make that the source of the document, that can that'd be a great tool for staff or team members to look and say, uh, where do I get the license key for such and such an extension, or what's or what's remind me the routine when I'm closing up the store at the end of the day. What do I need to do? And instead of calling the boss or just trying to think that you did it, it's just there. So
Okay, so it tried to send our transcript to the team, but it has insufficient instructions now, as I see, because we're working with an AI. It produces different results every
mhm.
time. So it's saying it couldn't send the transcript to the team because it doesn't have our email address, but it didn't ask about it. So we can directly say that to it. For the, mm, so simply by adding that, it should work the second time.
Yeah, and your description. I mean, this is good to see because your description of it, AI being a toddler,
Mm.
the the idea being here is that you have to train it. It's not a question of, hey, this is my
Yeah.
business, look at my site, and then now you are in control. You have to test it and train it. When at JDay USA, Owen Oliver was of Square Balloon was saying that he was demonstrating an AI that answers the phone when he's not available, and so he had all kinds of people testing it because he had it trained and set up. And then he said his dad called. He had his dad call to test it, and his dad started asking about solar panels.
Okay.
And it started answering questions about solar panels. So he says,
See,
"Oh,
yeah,
yeah." He
this one
says,
will do the
my
same.
dad, yeah." So I'll leave it up to my dad to break my AI, figure out a way. So
Yeah, it will start responding to in irrelevant things as well. You need
yeah,
to put that constraint.
yeah,
So at the moment, let me explain what we're seeing now. We're seeing an AI trying to figure out some information. It's wrong. The user is still saying it's wrong. It's wrong, and now it says I can attempt to send the transcript to the team again. Okay, so let's say I would like you to send the transcript. Yes. At this point, I believe it should ask for an email address. No, it does. Anyway, we're gonna roll back to that again
yeah.
later on. So let me show you something more fascinating now. Let's go back to the assistant and remove the file search completely. So you saw that. That's
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI API. That's how it works across all websites. And let's now show what we have on Joomla specifically built for us. So I've built a custom tool that leverages the Finder component, the smart search component that you have on Joomla.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you add the smart search for information tool, you can simply ask questions about your website to the assistant, and the assistant will search the website for you, read through the results, and give you the answers. So it replaces the search module. Before I add the tool, let's ask it a question, for example. Now, that's my demo website. It doesn't have much information, so
Right.
I thought we should ask it, what's your mission,
Okay.
which is on our homepage, and how to log into the administrator. So those two pieces of information are on the homepage. Let's try it. What is your mission? Now, this AI doesn't have anything. Let's remove these two as well. Okay, let's see now. What is your mission? This test has produced some funny answers in the past. Okay, so it's just saying I'm trying to be helpful. Okay, this is completely irrelevant to the
Yeah.
question, the answer we were trying to get. Now, let's try to add our search for information tool. As simple as that. Let's try without further instructions first, and we'll see how it works. What is your mission? Still a very relevant answer. Let's also try the other one, how to log into the administrator. As you see, it's just saying general information, very generic, probably incorrect,
Well, yeah, it's for a WordPress site.
as you see. So let's now try to add our tool search for information on our website, and let's give it some context. You are Sophia, a helpful assistant. You are hosted on a website as a chatbot. When users refer to you, they mean our company, Mavros, Mavros.com. What's your task? Task. Always consult your resources, tools to provide responses. Available tools include search for information on the host website. Constraints. If something is unclear or unknown, I don't know if a comma is supposed to be there. Do not speculate. Instead, offer to send the transcript to the team for further assistance. Okay, let's try now. How you see, those are a few simple things that you can give to the AI: context, a task, and constraints. Let's see now. What is your mission? Aha. As you see, this is a completely different answer. It searched our website, our whole website, and it provided the specific answer
Mhm.
from our homepage, only with a couple of words to the AI and our search for information tool. This is ChatGPT Assistant Pro only for Joomla.
Nice.
So let's ask the other question: how to log into the administrator. As simple as that.
Hmm.
So at this point, let me explain that, of course, you need to index your content from the Smart Search component for this to work,
Right.
to provide these search results. So if you can search using the search module, and for example, write the word mission and get results, the AI will also get results. The same results. It imagines the words that it should use to search the website, get the results, read through them, and provide the correct response. Um, Now, this is interesting. There are extensions in Joomla that index different kinds of information. For example, there's an extension that can index files as well. So if any information from any component is indexed and available to search through the search module, it's available to the AI assistant. As simple as that.
Nice. Can you have a couple of different sources? So, like, have it doing search and then have it also an uploaded PDF?
Yeah, of course, you
Okay.
you do. However, at the moment, the Assistance API cannot run. This is an OpenAI constraint. Cannot run tools in parallel,
Okay.
meaning that if it doesn't find information using the tool that it thinks is most appropriate, it will not turn to the other tool for
Okay.
information. It will try again sometimes with the same tool, using different wording through the search module. But if you have two things to search, sometimes they compete with each other. So that's why I said you can index files using a separate extension. So it's better to have either search for information through the index or using a file, unless there's a very specific reason to do something else.
That would also address the information being current, because if you update an article with what otherwise you'd have in the PDF, then it will always have the current information for it too. Bjorn asked, can it search external sites for info?
Now, I will respond that with a yes and no question answer at the moment. Why not? The Assistance API does not have a web search tool. So, however, the Assistance API is being sunset within the first half of 2026. So we're migrating to the Responses API, which does offer a web search tool. However, generally speaking, we don't want the hosted assistant to be looking at other websites unless we can somehow constrain it. That's why we also have a knowledge base, and I'm gonna proceed with that if there are any further questions, Tim.
No, I think that's all we got in chat right now. We're keeping up. Hello to
Oh,
Andre, who just popped into chat. Don't forget to
okay.
give the video a like, folks. That would be great. It makes me feel good about myself. See how needy I am?
Yeah, one more here.
yeah. Christopher wants people like this too. It helps it get recommended to people. So
Of course, yeah. So, because as Bjorn correctly asked, we cannot have all of the information on our website that we would like the assistant to know. Of course, like an employee, you need to train him on some specific things. We have created a knowledge base for the uh, assistant, the ChatGPT Assistant Pro extension. So, what's the knowledge base? Basically, it's a question answer library where you can add your own questions and their answers with up to 5 similar questions, different wordings per question. So let me get into one of those. Here's the question. And the knowledge base offers the ability also to skip the AI if it matches the user's question. You can have it to directly answer using this text, exactly this text. And there's a Levenstein distance similarity calculated here, meaning that if you can give it a percentage of similarity between the user's question and one of our 6 in total questions in this specific QA pair. And if it matches, then again, the AI is skipped and this answer is given. So it can also work as a chatbot with a library of questions, and it can provide direct
okay.
answers. Now, these questions are also taggable. You can add your own tags here, and the AI will use those tags to find answers relevant to its question, to the user's question. Of course, it's a lot of work to create a knowledge base manually. So that's why I created a toolkit that allows us to create knowledge base items using AI, of course.
Yeah, so Ivor just asked, can you use Notebook LM to make the knowledge base? So basically, Christopher, you just need to turn the switch on. That's all AI needs, right? Someone to wake up in the morning and turn the computer on.
Yeah, it's going to get there. We're using AI to provide things to the AI and meta prompting to create our prompts. And now we're using AI to feed the AI. And
Yeah,
of course, they're discussing.
yeah. And then until it needs more power and it turns us all into batteries in the Matrix. But I think we've seen that movie. So
Of course. So let's see how to use the toolkit now. We can create knowledge base based on everything on our website, and we can import content and have it either in suggestion mode or directly created at once. In suggestion mode, some suggested question answer pairs are created, and you can read through them and select which ones you like and import them into your knowledge base. So the preparation queue and the knowledge base are two different things where QA pairs may live. So at our import content, you can select your content type from your website, articles, menu item, and of course, we have a list of some extensions for now. We can add any extensions to that list. I see someone's asking if it's only available for the pro version.
Yes,
I believe they mean the knowledge base.
I think so.
Okay,
That's where
yeah,
he
the
just
knowledge
asked.
base. What we're showing is only available through the pro version. The free version is ChatGPT on your website with system instructions. Of course, you can provide as much context as you want in your system instructions, but that's basically it. So back to our knowledge base. You can use your Kunena forum, threads, your NSPro newsletters, Virtumark products, and manual text and even URLs to create your knowledge base. So at this point, I'm going to go with load URL. Of course, you can add as many types of contents here. And let me brag a little bit about the selector here that I made. I made a drop down tree of content, all of your Joomla content as you're used to it when selecting menu items in the module. So this is not the same thing, but it's visually the same so that it feels familiar. So that those are categories in Joomla, and those are Joomla articles, and you can select as many of those as you wish and feed them to the knowledge base to get suggestions for question answer pairs.
Oh my
Instead of that,
goodness. That's, I mean, it's amazing that my headset is still on because you've already blown my mind a couple of times. I was just sitting like, as I was thinking, like, I hope this does what I hope that it does. And that, I mean, it's so far beyond what I was hoping it would do. That's just crazy.
that's nice.
Oh,
So
oh,
I've got this.
now you're gonna get flattering. Okay, good for you.
So I've got this nice website of a friend. I think it's Tim Davis' website. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, so I'm gonna load the URL into the toolkit, and I'm gonna feed it to the AI to analyze it and create question answer pairs for the knowledge base based on what's on your homepage right now. So,
Just shut up and take my money. Just,
so what's interesting is that on a website there's a lot of extra code that we don't want the AI to analyze. So ChatGPT Assistant Pro strips all the unnecessary code from the website, maintaining a core. Uh, do you remember Links, the editor, the browser? It's an old
yes,
browser,
sounds familiar. Yeah.
a text browser. So that's what it leaves. The ChatGPT Assistant Pro leaves only the basics, no CSS, nothing on from your website, and feeds that to the AI to save tokens, so that you don't analyze too much information. It does the same with menu items from your website, and then it structures those to a nice markdown format, and it creates question answer pairs from your homepage. Now I see There are some questions before
Yeah.
we
Well, first,
proceed.
hi to Richard who joined us, and Paul. Paul's got another question. He uses UTheme Page Builder. Would that work as input as well? Because
Yeah, of course, of course. As far as I remember, UTheme uses the content, the Joomla articles table, database table. So this will work right from there. But if anything needs tweaking, we can add as many extensions as we wish to that list of extensions,
and
compatible
Ivor
extensions.
wonders if it scrapes all the pages on the site.
Okay, so it doesn't do that because that's sometimes unwanted. It's in our future roadmap to scrape all the pages from a website, but websites have thousands of pages, and
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to wait for a lifetime to get some results
Yeah.
from the AI because it's not as fast as you may think sometimes. Uh, because let me say at this point that ChatGPT.com as a website is an interface for the models we're using here. So they've built some fancy tools around using very quick models for direct output and then building up from that. So those are very complex agent and tools that are not available through the API. So what we're using is the ChatGPT LLMs we get from the API.
So
Sometimes those are slower than
So
expected.
so
Sorry.
right so and then Valerie has asked, can you instruct it to not scrape specific web pages? At this point, you just don't put in the web page that you don't want scraped.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can add as many URLs as you wish from your page here, from any page here. But of course, if it's your website, you want to scrape your website, you don't have to use the load URL. You can just use the menu items and select and deselect as you do for modules.
Right.
So you basically have your whole menu and the ability to load external URLs as well. So if there's not any other
So it
question,
gave some sample questions there about my site, and then from there,
yes,
you okay, so you select items, create, click create, and then that
yeah,
populates
but
the knowledge
but
base.
yeah, but would you like to see the questions that it created if they're
Yeah, totally.
relevant or
Yeah, yeah.
okay? So uh, behind the scenes, it analyzes the intentions of your website, the main goals of your website, the industry of your website, and tries to generate relevant suggestions, both for assistants. You can do the same to create assistants and for knowledge base items. So if we go ahead and select, for example, which services does CyberSalt Consulting offer, and those are editable, so you can add more,
Okay.
you can remove things here or whatever
All right.
if you want to create them in a different way. Let's see, which other one would you like? How about this one?
Yeah, sure.
Those two are similar. Let's copy this question and let's create those knowledge base items. Okay, so those should be in our knowledge base now. Okay,
Yeah.
so now the assistant needs to get access to that information. So we have some tools here, and that's ChatGPT Assistant Pro Search Knowledge Base. Okay, so that's one tool. And there's also the Smart Search for Information tool. But as we said earlier, different tools may compete with each other. So that's why we made also the multi-extension search for information tool that goes through all of the plugins on the backend. And if a plugin has relevant information, it provides it from the knowledge base, from the smart search information, and it gives that feedback. So let's try this question now. Perhaps we will need to edit this a little bit of the system instructions. But anyway, let's see. What services does CyberSalt offer?
It's
Let's see.
very interesting too, because by having the AI look at the page, um, it's almost it's a well, it's a second pair of eyes, not literal, but
Yeah.
you can say, oh, I don't like how like it puts the limited in, and it's like, oh, I don't use the limited. I mean, I'm incorporated, but it's like, oh, I should probably just take that off because I don't want, it's limited, but it's not. It's just information for when I do my taxes and that. So that's cool.
So now it didn't find any information. Let's see how we can tweak our system instructions to respond.
Is this also because you said it was for the company?
Yeah, perhaps. Let's try without this.
I can see too that for companies that want this on their site, this is excellent service to offer them. That is, and it's not just sure, I'll set that up for you in half an hour and give me $20.
Yeah.
This is very specialized,
Yes.
and you're going to be able to borrow these from other. Once you get it set up, you can just change company names and get them all functioning properly.
There's a lot of work to do here, and despite everyone's best wishes, you still need us programmers. So we just changed the context. So is that accurate now?
uh,
It's not. It's
those
speculating.
service, yeah, with this service, the cyber salt. Yeah, no, yeah, it is speculating.
Yeah, that's a mix and match from my knowledge base, the existing
Yeah,
knowledge
yeah, yeah.
base for the mavrosoftware.com website and your own. So let's see. Let's try to remove the otherwise search for information and only focused on the knowledge base here. So it's an accurate answer if you think that it has a whole knowledge base related to
Hmm.
the rest of the website.
Right.
So let's disable it for a moment. Anyone trying my extensions now, please?
Well, it
Please
just
bear with me.
actually I saw that it reset, so I wondered if it was going to reset everything you were doing, but
Yeah, I disabled that
oh, okay. Yeah, good.
cron job before starting because yeah,
Yeah.
I thought of the same thing. So let's go with this question again. Now with that we disabled everything else, I think we'll get a very beautiful answer now. So I closed everything, every window now here,
Mhm.
and it's getting very hot because I don't want to have noise from
Oh
outside.
no, no. Well, you're welcome to open the window. I don't worry. Don't worry about that. I don't. Although
So I
that
think
that
we
would
have,
that would probably get a lot of clicks if you actually pass out and I make that a YouTube short. That would probably drive a lot of
okay,
traffic. But if you want to
okay,
open windows, don't cook yourself.
that's okay for now. So is that more accurate to what you do?
Yes, exactly. That's off of the front page, so that's great.
So apart from the all the explanations we actually do here and the time it's taking, what we did is feed a URL into the knowledge base, get
Hmm.
some suggested question answers, see if those are relevant. If they're not, you can always try it again, this same toolkit. And if when you get a lot of questions that you want, you can just create your knowledge base and ask the assistant. I see we've got questions there.
Yeah, Valerie's wondering. Let's see, is there a maximum limit of menu items for knowledge base when the KB suggests questions? How does that work? How many does it start with?
So there's no limit to how many knowledge base items you can create. It's a database, so you've got limitless questions, probably 2 billion or so. When you feed the AI with menu items, you can always, of course, you can select all your menu items and import them, and it tells you here how many requests it will make to the API.
Okay.
So 128 requests is probably a lot for a um, single PHP session to work through, but it tries to handle them all in one go. How it does that? It has if your requests are more than 30, it groups. It does a single request with all your content, and it groups those according with AI according to their semantics. So it creates some semantic groups of requests and then splits those. That's why it has the symbol, because it's not always 128 requests. It could be a lot less, but it could be up to that. So it creates some semantic groups of menu items and passes that content to the AI. There's a token limit from the AI, from the OpenAI API. It's I think 30,000 tokens per minute, if I'm not mistaken. So that's probably 3 or 4 website pages. Of course, we scrape the unnecessary HTML, so it's less. But you saw that our previous request with one page used up 10,000 tokens. So you get the picture.
Right. Is there is that that's OpenAI that's paid for, right? That's the limit for the paid. Okay.
Yeah, if you're using the API a lot, and you grow on tiers. That's what I'm
Right.
not.
Yep.
I'm saying it correctly. Okay, tier 1, tier 2. It goes up, I think, until tier 5, and of course you have uh, larger limits as you grow.
Okay. So you can pay more for more.
So yeah, of course, you can pay more on the OpenAI and, of course, have more. But if you want to split requests, you always get more specific question answer pairs from the node space. So it's not a single click on a large website, but of course, working through it, it's a fun process, as you also said, because you see how another person sees your website and creates
Right.
question
Yeah.
answers. Yeah, and it's interesting to work through it, work with it.
And you could always get information by using AI in a different way to like you could use Google LM to look at a certain category on your site and boil
Hmm.
things down
Hmm.
and give you a list of links and then
Yeah.
do that. But okay. Paul
Um,
says, oh, go ahead.
mhm.
Keep going.
No, yeah, go
No,
ahead.
Paul asks, says he still has customers on Joomla 3. The normal assistant still supports J3. Does the pro version still support J3?
I'm sorry to say, no. The ChatGPT Assistant Pro version only works with Joomla 4 upwards,
Okay.
because most of this is only Joomla 4.
Right.
And it's also sad for me. I have a couple of websites in Joomla 3 as well. I'm trying to get them to Joomla 4. But the whole model view control MVC structure has changed, if you know, in Joomla. So we cannot support natively both Joomla 5 and 6 and also Joomla 3. It's either have some backwards compatibility on Joomla 5 or not support Joomla 3. So we're building for the future here. We're using AI, working to
Yeah.
compatibility with Joomla 6.
And you just works with ChatGPT right now is what I think Ivor's asking.
Mm-hmm. So at the moment, this is built on OpenAI Assistant API, which is a very specific API. So it doesn't allow us to use any other
Okay.
model for AI. But however, when we will move to the responses API in the future, in the near future, we will have a different structure and possibly work with DeepSeek and Gemini as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So.
so where were we? Well, we saw how to create the knowledge base. So let me demonstrate a few other of our tools, if you wish.
Mhm.
Okay. So we also have the ability to search for events using events booking from Joom Donation. I think I said it correctly.
Yep.
So let's tell it you can also search for events. Let's switch back to our Mavros Christopher company. Now I've only changed this to inform the assistant that it can search for events. Let's go to our presentation. Of course, as you've seen a lot of times here, it's got a previous conversations window that you can go through. It's like ChatGPT.
Mhm.
So you can have multiple conversations. And let's see, upcoming events. I've added a couple of events to the events booking to demonstrate this. Hopefully it will get it with the first time. Okay, so I got them. Those are events from the events booking component. And you can click on the link and get to that.
Mhm. Wow.
Okay, so let's see. You can also search for products in Virgmart. So we have an e-commerce website.
Mhm.
And of course, you can make the assistant as creative as you wish, or have him promote specific products or types of products, try
Mhm.
to increase sales, and it will genuinely try to do that. So can you suggest a laptop? Let's see. Okay, so it found a laptop on my demo website. Here it is.
Nice.
Okay, what else? Um, there's a button to send the transcript manually if you want to your email
Yeah.
or via sharing apps here.
Yeah.
And let me show you something else that's interesting. Now let's go to my now, as you see, the module, this module that I've created, it already has some instructions, and you can add your own custom HTML here if you want at the first message, and you can also add some conversation starters, make the interface larger or smaller. Let's also switch to different assistants.
Hmm.
If you allowed it to have multiple assistants. Let's go to Navigator Ned, who is a very underused guy because everyone just uses the default one when they come to my website.
Yeah.
And let me show you something interesting about him now. Let's ask, what is this page about? So as you see, it says this page is about ChatGPT Assistant Pro, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to thread history. There's a front end thread history if you want to publish it.
Okay.
So let's ask, what about this one? So as you see, this is important. The module knows which page of the website you're on.
Okay.
So if you have an e-commerce website and you have the module enabled, you can ask information about this product. So the user would just type, what is this product about? Or how much does this cost? Or whatever. And the assistant will find this information and present it. It understands where you are. Let me show you how this works.
Now these multiple assistants can are is there a way to make them a different assistant for different parts of the site or
Yes.
controlling access or okay.
Yeah, yeah. You can have, let me go to the module for that.
Hello, Serge. Serge is on holidays and he has no sound. So it might, if you've been swimming in the ocean, it might be because of water in your ears, Serge. You should check that. Bjorn mentioned it'd be great for J2 Commerce. That's another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the other thing to
We're
remember too is that J2 Commerce, its products are actually Joomla articles.
articles. Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. Mm. And yeah. Articles are already compatible. But if Bjorn wants to work through J2 Commerce availability, compatibility, that's also a possibility. Anyway, here's our default assistant in the module,
Hmm.
and you can add as many assistants
Okay.
as you wish. Okay, so you can have a different module per menu, items, or access, and have different assistants. Um, So I was saying how it understands which page you are on right now. So in its additional instructions, in the menu item and module options, there's the ability to add additional instructions and tell it, for example, what the current date and time is, because ChatGPT doesn't know what the date and time is. Its knowledge is cut off in October 2023. And as we were building the event compatibility, it was very funny to always get results from October 2023. So we had to add this ability as well. So you can add the current URL, the refer URL, the language a user may be in, the page title, the breadcrumb path, and also extension specific information as well. Now, it's also nice that we can add, you can inject user knowledge So if someone is logged in, the assistant knows their name, their username, their email, or any custom fields that you may have on your Joomla website. So you can just inject that, and the assistant knows. So this is per run, so it changes on every time. Every time you send a message, it also adds this information to the assistant. Of course, there's a lot of other information and options here. The conversation starters we discussed earlier, and you can add as many as you wish. And you can set a limit, and the module tells them, the user, they're approaching the limit, etc., etc. Let's see what else is in. What else
That's
is
the limit
interesting
of
here?
tokens, or
That's the limit of messages.
oh, okay.
So everything we're discussing so far is available through the backend, and as you saw, also from the front end. And you can go and see all the previous discussions from users.
Okay.
And we're planning to add a tool, a backend tool that automatically traverses through the conversations and tells you the unanswered questions and common questions that your users have, so that you get insights from these conversations.
Yeah, it
That's
was good.
still
I had
in
that
our
done
future.
because it'd be great to see what people are asking that you don't have the information, so you can put it on there.
From the toolkit.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So you can create the assistant from the toolkit as you created the knowledge base items, and you can add some context. Up to 3 items for the assistant is enough, and you can pull a menu item or custom text, HTML, or a URL as before. Let's go with cybersalt.com. I love this website, and let's add to the queue and see what the assistant will be. Regarding multiple languages, I see Paul is asking. Of course, the AI is able to respond in any language. So even if the knowledge base is in English, it will respond in the user's language using the available information from your website, from the knowledge base. It will translate it. It's doing a very good job with that. So we
uh,
have 5 assistants. Sorry.
no, and just that Valerie had asked to demonstrate creating a chat assistant, but I think that happened before she came on the stream. She was a bit late because you showed that. So,
I'm just demonstrating that right now.
oh,
I
okay,
didn't do it
okay,
earlier.
okay, okay. Sorry.
Okay, so I used the CyberSalt website into my toolkit, and I'm generating assistants now. Okay, so here are my assistant suggestions, and these are some personas that the
Huh.
assistant is suggesting. So you can create them from here and build upwards. Uh, it's a very basic assistant just to get you started, but of course you can get professional results from prompt engineering, etc.,
Mhm.
etc. So if you just click 2 of those, a Joomla website specialist and a WordPress solution expert, you can create them, and then they're available from your assistants.
And then you set them up with the tools that they're using.
Yeah, and that's part of the onboarding process. You can prepare your assistants from the toolkit, your knowledge
Okay.
base, and then add some tools to the assistants. Let me say at this point that ChatGPT Assistant Pro is also personalizing with every request it's made. So if you have a logged in user that's asking information or working with the assistant is creating persistent user memory, exactly like ChatGPT. So user is interested in suggestions for purchasing a laptop.
Alright.
You can configure whether you want this only for logged in users or for visitors as well. Of course, the visitor may clear their cookies and lose the memories.
Mm.
Okay, so we saw a few things here. And I just wanted to say, let's go here. So what's very nice about this is that all of the tools that we saw earlier, and we will show them again if needed, are actually plugins of the Joomla website. So I see Paul is asking about the knowledge base. So at the moment, the knowledge base has only an access filter. But if you want, of course, we can add a language filter and the assistant will completely respect that. So it's not available as it is. We haven't had anyone ask for different knowledge base per language yet. But if you want, we can add that, of course.
Okay. And Valerie's asking about so a single assistant can be assigned to answer people's questions about specific web pages. So you would just, in your example, I think, Valerie, with beginner English, intermediate, and advanced, you would have those as different categories and then assign the module that shows the um,
Yeah.
agent,
So
the assistant,
yeah,
only on
yeah.
that.
So if you have a knowledge base item with access, if you have those as user groups, access levels on your website, if you have that, you can add the knowledge base to that access level and get that result.
Okay. Excellent. Wow.
So back to the plugins, just last information here. As you see, we've created a few plugins, and you can also build your own plugin. It's actually very simple. Its structure, it's very simple. You can copy paste the code to ChatGPT, meta prompting, and of meta prompting, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
and
I was
ask
going to
it
say you
to.
get the AI to make a plugin for it.
That's what I'm gonna say. You can get the AI to create a plugin for your own task and have the assistant do that exact task for you. So that's pretty much.
That's amazing. I think this has to be the top new Joomla extension for 2025. That's
Mm.
because we have well, let me change this. Just this goal here to get us up at the top. We have, we've looked at different things on the live stream here as we've looked around at getting the process to train an AI to have a bot on there and uploading the files and and it's just like, wow, that's a big thing to figure out. And certainly regulars on the channel know that I like extensions that just you know there's things I'm okay with learning, but I don't want to learn everything. I want to just do, and I don't. And this is great. I have one client that I know right after I'm going to send them the video for this and say, hey, you watch this video and do you want this on your site? Because they've already been using tons of AI in the process and
Mm,
doing a bunch of custom things
yeah.
um, for interaction with clients. So yeah,
What's uh what's nice about this, and that's the way I work, always work, is that this is Joomla native. It's not some HTML that you just copy into a custom module and the information is elsewhere. You have your Joomla administrator, the administration panel as you know it, and it's right there for you to work with it. I mean, it's part of your Joomla
yeah,
website. It
yeah.
it evolves with your Joomla website.
Mhm. Valerie's asking, can it crawl web pages that are hidden? Probably hit. I think I would guess she probably means hidden, that there's not a menu item on the page. But I think as we saw with the crawling web pages, you have to put the URL in for them to be crawled.
I In the toolkit you can have any kind of content here. So articles, other content that is otherwise unavailable to the website. It doesn't filter whether it's published or not. So you can add unpublished menu items or even unpublished articles to the knowledge base, and that will be available through the knowledge base. It's not available through the index because the index shows what's available through the search module,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but it can be made available through the knowledge base. The knowledge base is more of a static FAQ,
Okay. Yeah.
so it's not appropriate to use it for events or something that changes rapidly. It's more solid information: who is Tim, who is Christopher, what they do. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, thank you for. Well, I was going to say thanks for showing that. Thanks for making that.
Thank you for letting me show it.
Yeah.
It's been a privilege.
Let's see here. I gotta find a tool here that will put us both on screen there. Great. So you, it is. What time is it where you are?
It's
Oh, I can see in the back
10:35.
there, 10:35. I see the clock in the background.
Yes, it's night.
Yeah.
It's past bedtime for Mike here.
Yeah. Good. Well, I know you're looking forward probably to opening up the window and letting some cool air in. You probably have
Certainly.
some heat there. Christopher, thank you very much for that, for coming on, and for your time, and for answering questions. I think that let me just make sure that the links to your site are in the video description for this, and they will be on the page on my website this gets put on. And I'm going to
Thank you.
paste a couple of links there to the extension. Make sure they're here at the end. Everybody, if you're still watching, thank you for tuning in. And let's see here. What is? Oh yeah. Oh, you can. Yeah, this is what you're seeing on the stream right now. Great. We'll go back to here. Don't forget to give the video a like, and if you want to subscribe. But and Christopher, stick around till after the music is over, and then I'll
Yeah,
just
of
say
course.
bye to you off the side there.
Can I like the video as well, or is
You're
it frowned
Yeah,
upon?
I would like the video too if my interface had the permission here, but I'll have to go back and like it later on. But okay, everybody, thank you for joining us today, for your support for this channel. Welcome to all of our first-time visitors that were here today. That was great. Christopher, you're always welcome to come back and show anything that you want, or if you've got updates about this. It doesn't even have to be at late at night with the windows closed. We can just do a quick recorded call or video, and then I can put it on the channel as well.
Okay,
But I
didn't
think
know that
I
option today.
Yeah. But no, it's great to have you on the live chat here.
Of course it is.
Everybody, will wrap it up there as usual. I hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, evening, afternoon, or tomorrow, that you are well, Till the next time, enjoy Joomla sites, and God bless.